Hello and welcome. Well, this time it stayed sweet as a nut. I just thought I'll wait and see when this misbehaves, and it's literally going right to the top. Oh, no, it did go for an awful long time though. Really did. Yeah, I can't believe that. Yeah, I think it's going to do it right. Let's wait. I'd like to wait because I want to make sure. Let's just wait for this to go to the top, and then yeah, we'll fill it ready for next time as well. And it should be something like, I need to get the stone picker. I thought this was the perfect tractor over this side to actually do it. Right, it should be not too far off. Yeah, it's a bit of a slow fill actually, so I'm glad we've ordered ours because it's nice to just like, let it go. So is that still? No, that'll do. That'll do. I don't care if it doesn't do 2,000 litres, and then that's not the end of the world. So stone picker, I believe, is still over here. Let's get that going on the... oh no, I think... did I take... I must have taken it across. Got to have done. Well, we could grab this then. Do we need... we don't need the... now, we must remember as well, not in the same field. Yeah, I don't want to, like, observe crop rotation, even though, like, the... it's like done with my own, as yeah, normally people do. Yeah, farmers, it is a choice on the arable crops that you sort of go for. So why not? Let's do this the proper way. Let's, we don't need a planner or anything like that to do it. We just can do it ourselves, and that's what we're going to do. I knew I was going to do that. I'm impressed with this. It's a really compact but fantastic 12-meter. I was going to say plough, but it's not. It's definitely a roller. Yeah, it is. Definitely a roller. Ah, so we did take the stone picker along already. Have we a tractor in that part? Yeah, we have. I think we were on about trying to get past it, but we couldn't because we did the last job, which was, yeah, like emptying the grain into the silo. Is what we did, if I remember rightly. We sort of pull a bit severely. We should get past that to the point where it doesn't really get in the way. There, fantastic. Oh, it's slow. Yeah, I remember actually it is a bit. So then, yeah, I believe we have got the... New Hollands. We'll get... yes, I've just woke up and you're sort of in that bemused state where you're like not quite there, but you're almost there sort of thing. But you're thinking, come on, words, pop. And they're like going, no, I'm still not here properly yet. It's, yeah, one of those sort of times. I think we're alright with this on here. So we need to set this on... outs first, I think. I don't think it matters. No, let's just let it do what it likes, I think is not a bad idea. We can grab you as well, being as we're so close. Let's empty the field, shall we? Ooh, my bad. It's it really is a lovely baler. I got to say, it's amazing sometimes. You have a go with something. Oh, that is bad, that damage on that field. For such a little field, it really is quite tremendously nasty. Yeah, and I liked it. I had it in FS25 on River Side by Missy B, and I enjoyed it. I did, but I didn't use it a lot myself. So... I didn't really, was remarkable. I remember the steering was good. I do remember that. I remember thinking, oh yeah, the steering's good on this. But I've sort of, this time it's been quite, we could sort of sneak this in on the corner like that. Oh, okay, so they've obviously have gone into each other, typically. Right, okay. Yeah, typically they have. Oh. No. Just let him finish. Or her, for that matter. And then we'll set you going, because They've only got one strip left to do. Of all of the bits on the field you could have done, you decided that this is where you were going to go. Right. You've upset them now. Now they've like missed a bit. Gordon Bennett, right. Are you... Yeah, she is thinking about it now. Hopefully Jack... In fact, let's jump into the track to where Jack is. Be careful what I say. Yeah. It could be taken, misconstrued... Because when you're half sort of asleep, you tend to say what you... And I'm a terror for saying in an exact manner what I mean, which then can be misconstrued in a naughty way, which is not what I mean. So, let's just please just finish these little tiny blips, which sort of totally ruin the field, in my personal opinion. These little tiny blips. That's it. Yes, you can see how slow this is, and that you seriously do wonder, because Giants had longer than any other time they've ever had. I seriously wasn't sure that they'd ever were going to release FS25. But what I mean is, did they do any testing on the game engine on any like hardware or what? Because it's sort of, I don't know. I find it highly terrible that the game we've been given. I don't know if you'll remember, but when it was sort of up for release, the impression I got, like, for those content creators who are part of the partner program and who were obviously invited to partake of the early access and the very early access as well, where it seemed to me from what was being said that it really wasn't finished anyway. You know, as in, like, that was... Oh, wow, these are big rocks where you've gone over the same... Yeah, they are. And it really is that impression is very true, that what we've actually got really was unfinished. I mean, I remember the very early days when I stupidly came on to FS25, you know, embracing the new game, and was sort of horrified somewhat at like what we were given. And I've got to be honest, I think that's why obviously there's a few people that are sort of having burnout, and I think it is sort of having to put up with like your favourite game that's been butchered. And I will sort of call it that, because that's pretty much, in my opinion, what has sort of happened. You know, you had a game that is really, you know, it's definitely my favourite game. Oh, so there's a little bit here that's like not quite. That'll do. Let's stick this on the front now. No, the telehandler can manage it. Yeah, he's all right. It's just going for once. Let's put the Josie. That's what generally gets called a hedge. And this is what I was sort of saying as well, that it can be really dumb. What? I mean, why is it not knowing that that's a fixed object and that it can't go through it? Because sometimes it does, and that's my point. Why is it like occasionally it will do it? Yeah, I know. My bad. I keep forgetting. You know, why does it occasionally do it right, but then another time it does it wrong? Well, surely the program is the programming, and that's sort of like, I sort of, obviously being into, you know, computers is my bread and butter and has been for the last 20 odd years. I mean, I've always been an enthusiast before that, but like what I'm saying is, I'll do this entire road myself, I think. Because what I mean is I'm like leaning over into this side that's already been done, so it probably won't do it. Yeah, I really don't get it. It sort of defies my IT brain on like that this has got to have been done on purpose, and then that is taking the mick out of everybody's. But I've got to come to that conclusion. And what I mean is, Giants are a company. They've taken a chance on the fact that it wasn't done, and they're quite happy with us because they know that we're all fairly understanding lot. But yeah, I'm understanding, but this is what really is too much. Now, let's Josie go on. We'll grab the telehandler. Now let's grab the telehandler. We can grab anytime. It's one of those sort of vehicles where, you know, like you always need it, and so therefore you can always grab it. It can be anywhere as long as it's not too far away, and you're going to grab it. So it's not. It is important. What I mean is, it's not that important in that way because it's easily grabbed. I think I have blocked my way, haven't I? Because we were going to grab that, and then Josie had a moment with the hedge. She did. Right. What shed should we go? Let's put it in the first shed because it's. Well, if there's any room left, no, there isn't. The tractor's blocking. So let's. Is there any room there? Yeah, there is really for a little thing like. In fact, actually, this shed here is not a terribly big shed because obviously it's got a load of stuff that sort of suggests it's a tool shed, and yet really it's not. It's not actually used as one, which sort of means so far I haven't used it at all because you like think, oh, it's a tool shed, it's got storage and tools and all the rest of it, but then that means I'm never going to use it throughout the entire Let's Play, and that's not really right, is it? So let's stick it over there, and then let's go grab the harvester now and stick it away, even though me. So we're still waiting on our 12-meter headers, but I'm a bit disgusted really because I've not seen that glitch before with the headers, but it could be a random glitch, or it could be that it's that exact header that we've chosen, or you know, it's a bit hard to say because obviously the worst thing you can do is choose a broken header as your choice for like headers, and then you've like saddled yourself with like a header that's broken. That's not so good. So wow, I can't believe it's 1446 July. We've certainly. Mind you know, we do cycle through till dinner time, so really, I suppose it's not that surprising, truthfully, that it's so late in the day. You know, one of them was stuck out for ages, and I thought, don't you think you should stick it in a little bit? Really, it's outside of the shed. It's not going to be doing it any good, is it? Like that. Right, so then, let's have a look at our animals. Yeah, we did say they needed a little, but I don't think they're really important today. I think we'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, we're not suddenly going to run out, I think that's my point. They were both happy in both pastures, and they should give birth in the morning, and they are halfway through. So 2 months later, they will also give birth with 36. So that is quite good news. Yeah, they're beginning to like expand, which is fantastic when you're trying to fill it with your own young. I think it's more proper growth if it happens like that. I mean, and the older ones, your older ones, you know, that you bought originally, it means a bit more than just buying some stock in. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with how we've done. Let's go and have a look how Chloe, my granddaughter, is doing now. She's still got quite a lot to do, actually. For some reason, she's doing the bit she's already done. Let's just see if it does. No, it's making the swap to the centre of the field now, I think. Let's not presume. Let's be scientific about this, because to me, she's going over the same bit that she's already done. What, you're gonna half? Oh no, let's be patient. Let's just observe. No, you were right. It's half overlapped. A bit wasteful, but Courseplay does similar things. Some of its sort of things are a little bit... Let's just leave it be, shall we? Yeah, we did the water and that, I think. Let's just have a look. How are we doing with the greenhouse? How far did we get? Yeah, we could do a little bit of... Well, yeah, no, let's do it properly. Yeah, let's just grab... Don't know why I came out of that screen. Let's just grab them both and like grab another. If I seemingly can't click on something now. Yeah, and that's another thing. When you jump into your tractors, it takes about a second for the graphics to settle down. Now, obviously, it's a second, and you think, yeah, but it's only a second. Yeah, it is, but computers are milliseconds for the way that they do things. So, we need the other one, don't we? That's across the road. The water. The water's not going to run out anytime soon. Let's just grab a set of manure. And we will bring the other one, because it is suitable for like water over here. We'll keep that as the mucky slurry one, which was always the intention. Let's just grab a little bit of manure. We have our transport ready, which I'm glad we're playing it that way, the proper way that you would if you were literally, this kind of farmer. So it was to go left. I went all the way around to the right thinking I was, found the better way. Well, not really. Yeah, I think we're best to reverse around that really and then flip. I think the way I would have done it then would have been the wrong way. Right, fantastic. So we're getting there now on this field. A bit of room for productions. Trying to think what else we do sort of need. I was wondering whether or not we were going to go for the multi-factory, the bigger one, because we want straw, but then I think, well, yeah, but I don't think we're going to do any other businesses, are we? So now that we've done we've obviously got our main business is the pigs themselves, and the other business is, the only bad thing is obviously we keep on keeping the pigs and we're not selling them like I originally said, but then we've got an awful lot of space to fill, so you wouldn't you really? Right, so that's one thing I am going to do though, because it's annoying with the bear. We're going to do a little bit of yeah, just the little bit here that you can see, just so as it is like we planted grass basically, which is pretty much what you would do. So let's go grass, go fairly big, like. Oh, we've gone a bit mad now. We have gone into a bit of grass going inside the meadow, which is obviously not that kind of meadow. Hopefully we can find the right colour to overcome. Yeah, it is weird. It takes a lot longer to wake up than you think it does. Like all your reactions and everything are a bit sort of slower than you think. So I'm not sure. We got something like pig muck. Yeah, let's do a bit of mud like pebbles. I know it's different, but what I mean is it's not that bad. Similar. So now we need a bit of real grass, which is, I realise, going to cost us somewhat. Again, we want to make it big, but like not so big. We've got to come down a little. Let's be careful not to destroy our mud like pebbles. There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Now, if we'd have done that in FS22, it would have been like down to about 270,000, and you'd have like seriously felt it. So I do like. There are some things that are definitely an improvement, but the trouble is the improvements, they are in short supply in comparison to the real, you know, like negatives that we've got now, which that's a bit of a shame, really. How are you doing? I think we'll take over, Chloe. We'll do this last two things because I'd like to get this off the field with quite a bit of stone. If we were going to go self-sufficiency, which I'm just not sure that it's worth doing this late in the Let's Play, even though I know we've got a bit of stone on hand. I just, that's all I would do with it, was a bit of something like that. I suppose we could do the herbicide, but again, this is what I was saying. You don't very often. I mean, we've got two methods of, like, we've got our beautiful 25 odd meter standard, like, I'm trying to think of the word, weeder. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, the weeder. We've got that beautiful 25 odd meter weeder, and we've got the sprayer as a backup in case we need it, but it's sort of rare if you do. I mean, I frequently plough and stone pick. That's probably my preferred method of doing this. Even though the plough's not particularly large, it's more about using patience, and then in time that will be done. And because it's a 10 meter, it really is fairly hefty. You know, it doesn't take too long to do any field really at all. So yeah, so what are we doing with this stone picker then? Well, I'm just thinking, let's just leave it with stones in. Yeah, I mean, it's not a resource that I'm trying to sell of itself or anything like that. It's just, yeah, let's put it away then. Let's not leave it on the, you know, again, we've got straw the same. We're going to use a bit of straw in the new place because you can put straw in there, but it's not a major commodity really. Right, I've actually managed to stop the camera, so just make sure we're still recording. We are indeed. I can see the thing moving. Yeah, I had a horrible sneeze. Yeah, I've got a bit of a cold brewing. Now, can we knock that a little bit like that? Because it is sort of really in the way for getting in and out of here. Right, come on then. So where can this be fitted is my real question, because we're sort of a little bit busy. Yeah, I mean, we're sort of bursting out the seams a little, if I'm being told. Well, I suppose we have got the other field as well. Like, farmyards do naturally reach that sort of steering axles. That they are a bit of a pain for that kind of thing. Be careful, even though I know we can't really. It's a modern crop. Wow, that was even worse. That's because that's what steering axles do. They really are a pain, in a way. I think we're going to have to, unfortunately, like, go on to the crop because of the fact that it's a steering axle. I don't think there's any other way, unfortunately. You need to, like, go straight. I did sort of highlight this in FS22, where there was an impossible situation in a small yard where you couldn't, you'd got to literally get a telehandler because the steering is like positive steering all the time. Can we, like... No, we can't, can we? No, it's stuck on, and that, you know, used... There are some implements still that have got choices. But yeah, they just steer into things, and there's, if it's got steering, like positive steering, it's just tough. You've just got to steer into something, and it's just terrible. Because there are times when you really don't want that, you know, you're steering axle to be on. You just want it to, like, not be on because it's going to steer into something. If you're going left, it's going to be steering that away, and that's not... Well, we could, I suppose, actually stick this in the last bay on this one. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Good job, the arms are definitely... Yeah, I mean, this is obviously where those arms are a real nuisance, and it really is a good idea for you not to have collisions on, but also then it sort of ruins immersion somewhat, because I'll be, like, going through the arms. So, do you know, this is probably the worst possible shed for this to go in, to sort of show a lack of immersion. So let's stick it Now that we've made a bit of room with those headers are gone, let's stick this in here. Where there is still quite a bit of room, really. That's definitely the back wall. And the collisions are spot on that, which is good. Excellent. Right, so then we didn't use our windrower. I did mean to, but I thought we don't really need to. It's so annoying. We ought to do something about that. Can we put a tree in or something? Because we seem to have already chosen the other end for, like, I don't know that we've got any trees tall enough, though, is my point. No, it'll be deer. We'll give ourselves some money back. This is more about, it's a bit of a smoke screen, really, is what I'm thinking. Too many... Oh, my life, no! Cavalier Roy. What have you done to me? No. We can't. Have we got any object? No, not that. Lights. Yes, lights. Yes, that's the answer. Lights. Yeah, others. What's that? Oh. Yeah, no, that's not really going to do for that, is it? So we did lights. I think lights definitely is probably the only thing we will have that is like those. If we go for those big ones that I love, they're a grand and a bit. And this is not probably a bad idea for this anyway, but it's sort of going to disguise. Yeah, no, let's just go for the biggie. The second biggie, yeah, the first biggie is a little bit... we know it overlaps. We're deliberately choosing to overlap. We don't care that it overlaps. It's still... I think it's that one. I like that one because it's sort of directional. Like that. And it would literally do all of the... I want it to be more viewable from that side. Now we know it's a smoke screen, but who's to say it hasn't got some sort of weird thing? It'll just look a little bit better than like as it was. Being as I seem to have not be capable of like saying, "Oh, I'm going to go into the menu when I'm finished." Did you? No, absolutely not. I didn't. Typical me. Right. Actually, yeah, we have still got other places to do. We have. It's just tough though. It is. We've put the plough away now. It'll not matter. I mean, we could easily do that because we've got lots of fields to set next time. The only thing we must remember is that we do need to do the wheat fields, and we can't do that till I think it's September. So then, that's everything done. We did look at this already. It's true, and we're going to pop down the store because that's going to be where we need to be. Now, what is going to be next of all of these things? The canola, which is soon, actually. Yeah, the canola's going to be very soon. Always freaks me out, the corn, because I'm like thinking, oh, it's ready. It's the same colour as, like, harvested, so... Yeah. Oh, no, we've done the canola already. That was the first crop we did, you Wally. Yeah. And then we did the wheat. So really, I think we're all late crops now. It's all, yeah, that you can see. They're all very, very green. So, I mean, as in like, this is the green that would be worryable, where we need to worry about, like it's going to be done in the morning. This green is, well, I'm still got quite a way to go. So, yeah, really, I'm quite happy. Yeah, the other thing is another weird thing is how I'm in the second screen with growth. Now I know if I go out and come in, it's going to remain on the second screen, but it doesn't normally. That's my point. Yeah, normally it doesn't. You'll go in and it'll not be on that screen again. It'll be, yeah, like that. It's now on the fourth screen. It doesn't remember your choice that you had it on, which I find a bit rubbish, really. No. it surely should, like, go the one you left it on, you'd have thought. Would have been the logical thing to actually do. So we're at 282, so we... Anything 20 odd grand... I suppose we could take it. It's 282,000. You could say anything 28,000 or lower is not allowed. Yeah, that it's an easy way, isn't it? You just, like, 10% it. Which is quite apt when you consider you make a 10% amount on your thing. So, yeah, we're going it the other way. So, not a bad... That's not a terrible idea, is it? So, we've got the Colossus. Beautiful bit of kit that it is. Sorry, I was having a moment where I was thinking, do we let go of it? And I think it's still a big... It is a big harvester for the map. I still think, all things considered, we are better off to keep the little one. Not being nasty. I love this. It's a beautiful bit of kit. Oh, and it's even a nice set of colours as well. But sometimes I think you've got to observe the map. And I've got to do this more, because I'm a terror for not observing the map, really. So it's something I've got to get better at. One of many things I've got to get better at, I would say. Hate it when you're battling the saving. Yeah, it is. That's another thing I've often thought about. Is there a better way for me to do this? Can I use an external thing? And I thought it's really better to use an internal mechanism than an external one. I was going to, like, use a sinking agent, or... And I thought, I don't know, it could muck around with the game a lot. It could be even worse than the present saving mechanisms. So I thought, I'd leave it alone, really, all things considered. So I will. Right, let's go through till tomorrow morning, you could say. Right, that's it. Not a very good tick-up, but we've had plenty of good ones, so you can't always win that. Oh, isn't this the one that doesn't appear anymore? Yeah, it is. So we can just buy the Phoenix. Just by our rules of 10%. Or, no, you just take a 0 off the end and then, yeah. So if it's 300, it's 30. Brilliant. Let's go through straight away. You just speed things up when you're doing it like that. It doesn't become so... Ooh, brilliant. Oh, not bad. Not bad at all, that. Right up to nearly 9 o'clock in the morning. And what did all the BA Industries... Yeah, this is the only weird thing, is this duplication that is frequently happening. And this is sort of what you get when you allow computers to sort of do things the way that you are, as in, like, this sort of way. We will allow... I keep saying this. When I talk about exact... We're roughly 30 grand. That's roughly 30,000. We are still trying to make a bit of cash. So, yeah, we will observe this. It's not too terrible. It's close. I never saw that. It was obviously off the page. Yeah. Ridge marker. That was the name of the thing that I was trying to think of. Yeah. Yeah. Last session when I was saying the ridge markers, that obviously further ruins, adds damage to your field. You could say, I know it's not damage per se, but it is in a way, because basically, now that should speed things up across the road. Yay, brilliant. So let's grab... this little lot and sell them. And then we're going to pay attention to the pigs, is all I'm going to say. Yeah, we're going to feed them. Ooh, this is a swivel axle in it, so we want to be going around like that. This is one of my least favourite of all trailers. I don't really ever particularly want it myself. I just really dislike it. Ooh, yeah, it needs to be on either of those. Yeah, it's like a horrible shape. If you did it as bales or like for loading for pallets, which of course is the sort of things in this game that you would, they're just horrible and all over the place, and they bump up and down, and I think, why would I want that kind of thing? And I think the answer to this is I wouldn't. It's true. It's just one of them things I look at. I've had it a couple of times, and that sort of was enough to sort of really make me think I don't ever want that. It's horrible. It's a real horrible choice for a trailer, and I apologise to those who like it. I do. Yeah, it definitely is better if you haven't got it on the unihid, but it does sort of recognise the vehicle if you keep on clicking, but it's definitely better if you don't do it with the unihid selected. Oh, be careful. Yeah, typically my rear end is right now. I should be able to get it, I think. Just about. Yay, we can. Last but not least, so we're going to be over 300 grand now, which is good. I know we were before, but what I mean is obviously going to make another 40 something. So it's going to be 330, not bad. And then, yeah, we're gradually making profit. That's what I'm sort of saying. Oh, why? It's when you like drop something into it, automatically seems to choose the unihid. And then you've got to keep cycling through. But everything's got... Nothing's ever perfect. This I do realise. You know, there's got to be allowances for these things. Yeah, I think it's when you drop. No, it's still remained on my... I don't know. It must be when you sell something that was connected at the back, maybe? I'm not sure. Oh, wow, that was better than I thought, actually. So 342 797. Excellent. Nearly 350,000. Not again, it's such a good business. It really is. Right, so pigs. This time we're going to do the pigs. And we've got this one here. No, we want that one there. We do need to wash this out, though, because it really did have horribleness. Yeah, manure. I don't really fancy sticking good pig food into this. We ought to observe also to see what we need, like what the bars basically. We may as well do that as well. We've done it. Wow. Not really so worried about this. It's more that. Yeah, that would be the one that we would want to wash the residues of all of the filth out. Obviously, I do like the water layer. I do. It's good, but what I mean is, I can't imagine that being the thing that's overdoing the engine. You know, the water layer. It doesn't sort of, but something is obviously, they've chosen an engine that's too heavy. Right, I thought we were going to observe what we need, weren't we? Let's have a look. Pigs. The original pig pasture. We need base food is actually, they're all a little bit. 18, 16. Well, let's do a little bit. No, let's like choose something like No, I was thinking more on the... Yeah, canola. Let's do 10 tons. And then we should see... I can't even speak properly now. How the... yeah, so the protein is, you can see, it's a little bit higher. So grain, let's go for... we've got our own. We have, actually. This is true. Yeah, let's grab some grain. We have got plenty. Only we're blocking the routes to the silo. Of course we are. I still don't think we can actually quite do that. No, I think we can. No, we're good. With this little trailer, we can sneak in there. Well, almost. Right. Oh. I didn't even see that. Right, we need to switch to right-hand side then. Yeah. Let's stick that in there. I didn't even see we were close enough for that. Now we'll... we're not actually quite in the tip range, are we? Yeah, I was thinking that we were with seeing tip. I keep forgetting this is actually quite a tight... Yeah, actually, you know what I said about being close enough? We're not. It's got a very... Deliberately tight, this is deliberately tight. So therefore, you need to be quite close to the body of the... I might have done it a little bit too much. I did it on purpose, which is why the grate is like where you see it. So if we stick that... Yeah, which is true. It's amazing. I frequently have those type of things. You know, quite a few farms give you the fertilizer things. I never ever do it because I always think, well, they're always in nice little containers anyway. So I've never used them. I don't say never. I may have done once in my entire farm simulator career, but I just don't bother me at all. I just think they're in, and they probably would be waterproof as well, if I'm honest. So I just never bother. The little containers that we stick them and throw them to the side, I just think, no, I'll leave them in those. I'm happy with that. It's amazing we've all got our own. Why is we not getting a fill? Mind you, I've been saying that. Oh, no, yeah, it is quite particular. So, yeah, wheat. That'll do nicely. Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to dump all of that, but we will definitely fill. Mind you, we have got 2 sets. This is true, actually. We have. More than you thought. Right, so let's stick that in. After all, it was the entire reason we did our own arable was to feed the pigs, to like lessen the impact of buying in from other farmers. But you would, wouldn't you? I'd have thought. I mean, that canola is a little bit pathetic, like our sunflowers was the first year. Right-hand tip, I'd have thought it was... Oh, unless we're... No, we're not full. Definitely not full. Maybe we're full of this type. Oh, we are, actually. You're totally wrong. Okay, well, there you go. That's why... That's why we can't. Oh, I keep meaning to put collisions on that. Right, so then. Water. No, we were on the right one, actually. Oh, we've given birth. Not we as in the royal we, but yes. So that's filled. Water, 55,000. I don't think we're running out anytime soon. It don't require a lot. Straw we could do with some. But it's not running out. So, do you know, all things considered, I think that's not too terrible. And I think that's probably not a bad session, all things considered. Yeah, I'm trying to keep my sessions reasonable. And I think I had one that was 20 odd minutes, and I thought, I think that's going a little bit excessive. Like, it was time-lapse, admittedly, so it was really longer than that, but it was 23 minutes, and I thought, I think that's not exactly what I'm looking for. A little bit longer for that would be nice. So, but this time it really has been more than that. So yeah, I think not a bad session. We finished off the 13, field 13. We did good to actually manage to do all of that anyway, the work. We got all of the grains in and everything. We fed our pigs, gone through, made a little bit of cash, as you do. And we're a little bit closer in. It's August, so we do need to be observing the fact that we need to be planting, but we don't want to be planting in the same field as we've already done. So yeah, that's definitely. So canola we can plant. Oh, that is a point. No. Yeah, that is right. Well, we could then use the big field, which is a completely different kind of crop. It is. So let's use one of these beautiful little bits of kit. Let's use an 11 meter. We could use both, I know, but they do tend to, if you're using a standard worker, they do tend to clang into each other. So really, I think all things considered, it's probably best to just use the slightly bigger one. And just stick to just that one is my point. Right. I hate that. I've got out of that habit. You've got a nasty, obviously the triggers are like forward and backwards. Now I've got a nasty habit of like pressing the forward trigger while still having the other trigger partially pressed, which then means you're not doing anything because you're like, you know, you're trying to, so we want canola. Let's just do that first. Select that. Yeah, I've got so many horrific memories of like doing things where you got the wrong thing selected and you partially, too many times in my farming simulator career have I had the wrong crop selected and had to like plough it, or so it is sort of becoming a, which is good. I mean, obviously we've all got journeys that we need to do as farmers, you know, so yeah, that is not a bad idea actually. Yeah, that'll do. We were not in need of more, really. Yeah, we've all got things that we need to improve on as a virtual farmer, aren't we, really? And obviously, I've got plenty. It's true. It's true. Some things you get better at over the years that become better. You know, like, ooh, no, not quite. This is really one of those things that's a bit, I'm going to have to. This actually has got narrows if I remember rightly. So, oh, okay. Oh, I didn't expect to, like, still be snarling up like that. The wheels are quite wide on it. Well, this is sort of what I was trying to say always about this. Or what I was sort of saying as well about if you come straight on at this. Like, if we sort of imagine this field is, which it is this year, it's going to be, then that would be how far you need to come in. No, even more. Well, if I have to enact my other idea, then I will do. If it's still going to be a bit of an issue with certain things. I mean, that is a bit awful. Ooh, it is wide though. No, it is. I mean, in my defence, it is not the. They are sort of fairly narrow gate posts. You've got a. It's fairly hefty as well. Yeah, only just. So we shall set this going. In fact, you know, I think this is going to be... This is one of those moments I've been talking about where I do sort of question my normal chain of evidence, because I'm like thinking, well, we've already paid for the seeds and the fertilizer. Now, we all know there's plenty in there to do that field, because actually they're not that... You know, seeds are actually one thing that Giants have done that they're not that. So I could do this and leave this while I'm uploading my videos, and it'll pretty much do this, and then we'll come next time and my money will be down a few €100 and the field will be finished. And I don't think anyone's going to complain about that or think, well, you could gain some kind of unfair advantage. So I think we'll do that. Yeah, I've done this a few times in this kind of session where then it means you can get on next session because you've done this thing. And does everybody really want to watch the seeding of the field, the planting? Well, some people would say yeah, but a lot of people it's more about the farm and what you do on the farm. But like also, I always want to observe chain of evidence where you can see everything, but usually where there could be cheating to be brought in. And that's what I'm saying. There's not really a lot you can do because, I mean, I've already paid for the things in there. It's not like we can grab 20 extra bales where certain things like the baling, that sometimes is a good reason why you would do that. You know, so that you can see I'm not adding 30 bales or whatever. So that's not a bad thing. But like this kind of thing, it's not really a lot you can do, is there really, to sort of cheat? So, yeah, the circumstances have to be right. In other words, it's at the end of the session and that type of stuff. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, I don't think. So I'm going to leave it there. All that remains to be said is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on this journey. And I'm going to say goodbye for now. Right, I'm going to tack this back on to the last session, but just, I thought, I thought, well, why don't you, like, do what you said you were going to do and, like, stick down this thing over here? I might do both, but this is what I've done for now. I did it off camera rather than on camera because I just wanted to present the finished product, really, so... This is the way into the farm, and I don't think it's too terrible. I don't. I've done it bigger than normal, so it looks more of a natural sort of ramp. So it goes literally up here, and it's got a wide base. Goes obviously over. Now, the one thing I'm worried about is because Kinlay did this. Giants have done like dynamic hedges. So basically, I've gone over the hedge, sort of, almost. And it's got collisions. So if it's below that, then your collisions are literally below the surface of this. Now, obviously, that's how it would work in real life, but I don't know why anybody would want to do something like that unless it's to just to be nasty to stop you doing something like that, which it's a game, for heaven's sake. Surely we should have a certain element of control where, you know, we're allowed to do something because we've been given tools to suggest we've got that kind of control. So you'd think that was okay. So I'm hoping we don't get the hedge suddenly pop up over here, because that's going to totally scup it and also make things look awful. So I'm hoping that it's not like Kinlay where that actually happened, where I did actually do a hedge and went over the hedge. Looked all right. The next session, the hedge was inside my building, and I'm like, oh, my life. So it's a little bit rough here. That's because I did a bit of leveling afterwards. Again, don't mind tweaking little bits just a bit. So this is the bit where we can go straight down into the farmyard, and I had to do a bit of cover up work because obviously we covered over some rubble under there, but the main thing is actually all right, and it is a farmyard, so it would be a little bit rough, but I don't think that's too terrible. We all would know it's a bit of a... It's not perfect. We know this. But, yeah, I think all things considered, it's a genuine way to avoid the horror of that field entrance with equipment. Admittedly, we're going to have to keep this bit clear. This is now a through way. So we'd have to come through here, up here, and into the field. But really, it's going to open up... I mean, there's a lot of big equipment can get through there now, which that's got to be a bonus. So it really means I don't need to do the other way. You know, I don't need to, like, go around here. But if we are taking this anyway, we would. So we're going to have to, like, go straight over here. This is going to be the way. And then we're going to go straight through here. I'm going to make this a bit better. We're going to chip a few more of these. And then I'm also going to put some trees back in the area where we're not going. And I could actually, if this is not going to be, almost put a boulevard of trees guiding us here. And I could even, now that we've done that, block access to this off. Is that a good idea? No, I don't think it is, actually. That's a bad idea. Yeah, that's a bad idea. We'll leave that one alone. But apart from that, I think that's definitely done what I wanted it to do, which is not too terrible. Now then, how are we doing? I'd imagine our field is getting on. It's taken me a few minutes to do this. About 2/3 of the way. It is. Jen, my wife, is doing a cracking job, as she frequently does. Excellent. So another few minutes and this will be done. So yeah, you can see, obviously I haven't added any money neither. It's the one thing I am going to say that is quite good is that FS25 is an awful lot cheaper for construction. If this was FS19, I would have probably spent all of that money on doing that little bit of work. It was that terrible. FS22 was better, but FS25 I've got to give it due. The construction costs are good. If only you didn't get this like dynamic hedges that suddenly decide they're going to grow up from... And again, I know it's a gaming convention, but boy oh boy is that a pain in the backside when you do something that you're allowed to do within the game, and then the game like goes, no, you're not going to get away with that. I'm going to like literally put this hedge back. It's going to grow in the air 10 foot and going to block your work, and you think, oh, it shouldn't be like that. To me, it becomes a spitting contest, a little bit like Oxygen David and his trees that are made of concrete. It's a control thing where you're putting your stamp down thinking, I'm not having this done on my map. Well, if you're offering a map, you have got that, obviously, choice. But you're really asking people to come onto your map to do their own thing, aren't you? Obviously not. Not really. If people needs to wield that kind of control where they're like saying, no, you're not doing this, then you're not really giving people free choice to do what they like on your map. Now, I mean, I'm not talking about, no, even that. Oxygen David has allowed that. On Oakbridge, you could really tear in the end, at the very end. And I've got to be honest, I think it's better to give people more freedom. Because if everybody's farmyard on Oakbridge and there's loads of content creators have all done that and it's all going to look the same, isn't that boring? Surely you would want to see people's best creation on your map to show their creativity on your map. Your map is still going to be brilliant if people... And again, you can have people who aren't so good at creating where theirs are a little bit like me. It's not fantastic, and then you've got people like Frithgar and Miss Silly P who are absolute geniuses at making farmyards look so realistic. I mean, I saw, because Mr. Silly Peely's Horbella on it was to die for. I was like, Gordon Bennett, you must have spent hours on that. Absolutely hours. It's beautiful. The little details of pots and pans and little tiny accoutrements, they're the type of things that I would always forget. I mean, I've done it a couple of times. I've done a garden once with pots and flowers and benches and things. And it really does add an element. So it really is a credit, and that's what I'm saying. Isn't that what you want to see when someone makes your map look really beautiful with their creativity? You're not stifling their creativity, and they're not stifling yours. It's a team effort of making that map look good, and everybody wants to do that. There are very few people who want to make it look bad, and if they do, then they're going to show their true colours, and it's not a reflection on your map. If someone does a bad job and they did it on purpose, they're really only making themselves look silly, not you. So it's one of those things, but that's just my personal opinion. Right, anyway, yeah, let's leave Jen to do her bit, and I'm going to sling my hook again. So this will be added on, but I just wanted to sort of show you what we've done. So we've done it. We've done that bit, and I don't think it's too terrible. I think that's fairly... Let's grab this as well. Yeah, it's fairly tasteful, I think. So we've got our water tanker. We're still waiting on our headers. And typically, they're being late, where we would really love it if they arrived on time, and of course they're not. So yeah, it's one of those things. It is. So yeah, this is not going to be a field anymore. We are going to put some trees in though. We could actually use it as our tree nursery, I think. Yeah, once we've obviously got the sugar beets out of it, which is a few months off yet. Well, it could be a month or two, but I think it'll be October, I think. So let's just stick that with the other one over there. Try and avoid hitting the bush, because it is sort of supposed to be like your bush in the middle in it, really. Which is, and like an accoutrement, an addition that's supposed to make things look pretty. So right, so yeah, I've said my goodbyes already, so hopefully you'll join me next session.